Alright guys, this is Brian with Brian's Auto and Diesel Repair here in Cedar Hill, Texas. I want to go over something that we got in the shop, and it may help you out in the future. This is a 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee. 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee. When the Jeep got here, the battery was dead and the alternator was scalding hot, to the point it would burn your skin if you just touched it. So in that process, what we did was we changed the battery and then we changed the alternator. Come to find out, the battery was so low that they've tried to start it with the battery so low that it ended up knocking the starter out as well. So we changed the starter as well so we could do some more tests on it. During that process, after we got everything replaced and we started up and we did a voltage check on the battery to make sure the alternator was charging, because you're supposed to be anywhere between 13.5 volts to 14 volts while the truck is running. Come to find out, it wasn't charging. We didn't have the alternator was like the switch was turned off on it, like the regulator wasn't allowing the alternator to do its job and charge the battery back up. So we dug deeper into it and we did a continuity test, and doing that we tested the two wires that are on the back of the alternator. They're right there. When you unplug it, there's two wires there. Those run all the way to the ECM here, the computer. So we did what they call a continuity test, and in that you have two wires that are running off the back of the alternator that run all the way to the computer. One wire is on this far left side if you're looking at it from the front of the truck, and there's another wire on this plug here that runs to it. They're two separate wires, and they run into the computer, where there's a computer has a voltage regulator inside it built in to regulate voltage. So we ran the continuity test and found out our wires aren't broken between the computer and the alternator. The continuity passed. So that tells me that the harness is good. So knowing that, we had to find another PCM for the truck, because that tells me the PCM is bad. So if you have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, that would be the process you would go in to fix this problem. I did a little bit of research, and this is a big problem for these Jeeps. Don't know why they had the voltage regulator built into the computer. I think it was a broad idea by the engineers, because apparently this happens quite often with these computers. Matter of fact, it happens so much, I believe, that these computers are actually pretty hard to find right now. So I had to order one that's almost 1,200 miles away and have it shipped. And then not only that, once you get the new PCM, you have to have the PCM programmed to the truck. So that's another bite in your wallet that you have to pay to get it programmed. So that should fix this. I'm wondering, when I pull this PCM here, if I'm going to smell burnt. It's going to smell like fried wires in either one of these plugs here, because I got a feeling that something fried inside this PCM, and I should be able to smell it. But anyways, just thought that tip might help somebody in the future. If your alternator is not working and you're not getting voltage out to your battery, and you have a charging problem, of course replace the alternator first. If it smells burnt, or as in my case, if the alternator is super hot and the battery's completely dead, I wouldn't jump to the PCM first, because it's like a domino effect, and I haven't been able to really find out which domino falls first, but these two are tied to each other 90% of the time. So don't jump to the PCM first. Go in that order: alternator, and then test your continuity between the alternator and the computer. Make sure your harness doesn't have a problem, and then jump to the PCM and replace the PCM. Everybody have a good day. Bye bye.